Mr. Bump Goes on Holiday by Roger Hargreaves. Mr. Bump was going on holiday. How very lucky. It was time for Mr. Bump to get out of bed because he had got so much to do. He had to have a shower, eat his breakfast and pack his suitcase. There was no time to lose. Mr. Bump jumped out of bed and... Whoa! Mr. Bump had wanted to be quick, but this was ridiculous. He sped across his bedroom, out of the door, down the corridor and splash! Bump! He landed right in the shower, knocking the cold tap as he went. Brrr. This was not a very good start to the day, but perhaps a nice breakfast would make all the difference. Down in the kitchen, Mr. Bump started making toast. But what was that smell? A burning smell! Oh no! Mr. Bump had burned his toast, but before he had time to make any more toast, he heard a ring at the door. Who could be visiting Mr. Bump so early in the morning? Mr. Bump ran to open the door and crash! A flower pot fell off the upstairs windowsill and onto his head. Mr. Bump rubbed his sore head and looked up to see little Miss Busy standing there. "I've come to bring you a little present before you go on holiday," she explained. "I knitted it myself. I do hope it will bring you good luck, Mr. Bump." "Very many thanks," replied Mr. Bump. "I'll use it on the beach to protect me from the hot sun. Now I must rush and pack my suitcase." "Hum-de-hum-de-hum," sang Mr. Bump to himself happily as he climbed the stairs. "Do you notice a little problem?" Mr. Bump tripped over a loose thread from the scarf and bump, bump, bump. Mr. Bump isn't called Bump for nothing, you know. He tumbled down the stairs and landed in a dizzy heap at the bottom. "I really must hurry," he said to himself. "I don't want to miss my train." Mr. Bump ran as fast as he could, but he missed the bus that was going to the station. "Oh, what shall I do now?" he said to himself. "I really don't have any luck at all." But then, cheering up, he said, "Well, I may not have any luck, but I do have lots of ideas." And with that, he stood by the side of the road waving at the passing cars, in the hope that a friend would drive by and give him a lift. And for the first time that day, Mr. Bump had some luck. Mr. Forgetful was driving by and saw Mr. Bump waving. He stopped his car. "Hello," he said. "I'm sure I know you. It's It's Mr. Bump, Mr. Forgetful," said Mr. Bump, smiling. "And who's this Mr. Forgetful you mentioned?" asked Mr. Forgetful. "Why, it's you," laughed Mr. Bump. "Would you be able to drive me to the station, please?" "Most certainly, Mr. said Mr. Forgetful. Mr. Forgetful set off, backwards, and drove backwards, all the way to the airport. "But I needed to go to the station," said Mr. Bump. But it was too late. Mr. Forgetful had already driven away. Mr. Bump walked into the airport to see if anyone there could help him get to the station. But whoops! He fell onto the conveyor belt right in the middle of all the suitcases and packages. What an unlucky day! It wasn't long before Mr. Bump found himself inside the luggage compartment of the plane. Not the most comfortable seat on the plane. Do you recognise this happy traveller relaxing on a tropical island? A tropical island covered in coconut trees? Yes, of course, it's none other than Mr. Bump. And now that he is finally on holiday, what could possibly go wrong? Bump! That'll be a coconut on Mr. Bump's head.